Hi everybody, Andrew Cuneo here. This is my first draft of day 2 of the Kaldheim Arena Open. Need to go 3-1 or better here to make it into draft 2. Let's make it brighter. Enjoying wasting time on this screen. We're waiting for others at present. They're rebuilding the queue. That was a waste of time. All right, come on, something good. Reflections of Lityara. I don't really think that's particularly good. Mike Sigrist always has this card in his deck when he posts on Twitter. I've tried it. It's okay, but I'm not going to first pick it. I think this is pretty easily Sirif's Packmate. These uncommons are not terrible, but none of them are really particularly exciting. And Packmate's, I don't know if it's the best common. It's one of the best commons for sure. I think this is an easy pick. I guess I should maybe pay attention to see if the Harald, King of Skemfar, wheels. That could be a sign that Elves is open. It's probably a little bit optimistic to think it might wheel out of that pack. That pack really wasn't that deep. I didn't consider taking the red-blue Snowland. Whoa, it's the same uncommon run. I don't know that that means that somebody, well, obviously nobody picked Harald. There's 3 uncommons and a rare missing. What do we got? Nothing all that exciting. This is an okay Snowland. It's not as, if it was like a green Snowland, I would definitely take it, or like a green-blue Snowland. I'm thinking I might just take Jaspera Sentinel. I don't want to, be laser focused on elves, but this is a playable green card to go with my first pick green card. And I don't think any of those other cards were that good. What do we got here? I've actually been impressed by this sword more this time around with Kaldheim than I was the first time. I think that's a possibility. I really hate this Bloodsky Berserker card. It was so overrated when Kaldheim came out. There's Mistwalker, Valkyrie's Sword. These 2 green cards, I think, are both enough weaker than Valkyrie's Sword and Mistwalker that I don't want to pick them. I think I'm going to go with the Sword. Cosmos Elixir. If I'm really green-white, I'm expecting to be a little bit on the aggressive side. I think this card is really at its best in a deck that's going to care about the life gain, because you're not always going to be able to get it to the card drawing point. So I could take a second Jaspera Sentinel, which is a little disappointing. There's an Augury Raven, which is nice for sure. Really haven't seen much in the way of white. I think I'm going to take the Jaspera Sentinel just because I know I want to be green, but we'll see about like that pack really just didn't have very good cards in it. So I could just be green-black and splash for this sword. It's kind of a double white splash if you want to get the angel, which is a big part of the card. But I've got these 2 sentinels, so I'm well on my way to being able to splash. I don't know if I want to take the Skemfart Elder Hall this highly. I could just take the Elderfang Disciple. I think that's what I'm going to do. A 3rd Jaspera Sentinel. There's also Arctic Treeline, which if I'm planning to splash white is pretty good. Or just play green-white would be good. I'm not a fan of this Guardian Gladewalker card. I think it's just straight up filler. So far, this doesn't seem to be going very well. I haven't seen any truly powerful cards. And if I'm not going to get truly powerful cards, then I would like to be getting, you know, good aggressive or synergy cards. And I don't even feel like I'm getting that either. I think I'm just going to take another land. I feel like I'm in a spot where I can probably take any good cards I see out of packs 2 and 3. With the maybe not if they're like double red or double blue cards, but certainly in these Abzan colors, I can take anything good that I see with this setup, and realistically, I can probably pretty easily splash single blue or single red cards. We are playing with sideboards, and Broken Wings is a very good sideboard card. The question is, do I want to take a potential sideboard card or Priest of the Haunted Edge? Two Snowlands currently. I think I'm going to take Broken Wings. I just don't think I'm going to get to enough Snowlands that I'm going to be excited about having Priest of the Haunted Edge in my deck. Alright, so the Herald of Skemfar didn't wheel. I'll just take Skull Raid. I think Skull Raid's okay. If you watched some of my previous videos, I was very confused about Roots of Wisdom and put it in my deck. And boy, was that a mistake. I'll take the Haggy Mob. Maybe I'm supposed to be a red-green beatdown deck and I just don't know it yet. Maybe I'll need to play this Notvold Recluse. This is a really sad assortment of cards I've gotten. I hate this card. I will take Raider's Carve. Second Skull Raid, not the worst. Certainly better than picking Haggy Mob or Raider's Carve. Okay, Toski. I think Toski gives me a bit of a plan. Feed the Serpent, which I do like having. I mean, Feed the Serpent is a fine card. I think it's especially good if you're like a more low to the ground deck, because it can be a little bit expensive, but if your deck is mostly cheap, I think it fits well. I'm just going to take Toski, though. I expect I'm probably going to wheel another Skull Raid out of this pack. I'll probably have a choice between like Skull Raid and Dusk Wielder. I would guess that all 3 of the white cards are going to get picked. We'll see though. A green-black land, which I'm not excited about. Clarion Spirit. might be okay. I'm not excited about the green-black land just because I mean, I would obviously play it, but I think I need good spells more than I need mana fixing at this point. These black cards are kind of whatever. I'll just take Clarion Spirit. My mana is potentially going to be a little bit awkward to be a good Clarion Spirit deck. Fall of the Imposter is a pretty good card. So maybe I'm not supposed to be black so much. I think the person on my right is playing white. So I don't think I'm going to continue to get good white cards in pack 3, but I think this card is fine. Runed Crown with no runes at present. Or a Horizon Seeker, which isn't the worst. I think I'm just going to take Horizon Seeker. I'm a base green deck that is looking... I don't know if I'm playing white or black. After the first pack, I thought I was playing black, but really my black cards are not particularly good. Maybe I should just take this second Valkyrie's Sword and just be more of a white-green deck and maybe hope to get like a struggle for Skemfar at some point to have a little bit of removal. I think the Valkyrie's Sword is enough better than Bound in Gold. I should definitely pick it. Let's feed the Serpent. If I hadn't just picked a bunch of white cards, I would be somewhat excited about it. Do I want Codespell Cleric, or do I just want the Elderleaf Mentor? I think I'm going to take the Elderleaf Mentor. Second Fall of the Imposter, that's pretty nice. This thing can get back Fall of the Imposters. I'm not going to pick it here, but I think I'm at the point where the Master Skald would actually be a good card for my deck. So that's nice. And I think that these black cards just are not good enough. I could splash black for sure if I get some okay black cards in the third pack. I have put myself in a position where the third pack might be kind of bad because I think I've gone into a color that is being drafted by the person on my right. Do I want Snakeskin Veil or do I want Guardian of the Gladewalker? I guess the Braggart's also a consideration. I think I want the 2-drop though. I've got these 2 Fall of the Imposters now, and I really want to be able to play them on turn 3 and have something that will get the counter. So I'll just play Guardian of the Gladewalker. So the 3 white cards that were in this initial pack did not wheel, meaning that there's 3 other white drafters at the table, which isn't that surprising. I'll play Grizzled Outrider, that's fine. It's the first 5-drop for me. I think that the white cards were in my initial pack, right? And this wasn't the pack with the 3 white cards I was looking at. Anyway, Starnheim Courser is pretty good with 2 Valkyrie Swords. Cutting this thing down from 7 mana to 6 mana in order to get the big flyer is a pretty big deal. This isn't looking that bad at this point. I mean, I obviously would have liked to have gotten some more powerful cards, but I didn't open great rares or, you know, the top tier uncommons. So this is what I got. I guess Toski is, Toski isn't, I wouldn't say a great rare, it's okay. I could maybe play this good Spell Cleric. We'll see. I probably have more mediocre 3-drops that I'd realistically want to play at this point. Wow, is this pack not what I wanted? Not at all. I can't believe I'm considering picking this. And is this even better than this? I kind of think no. Yes, I'm taking that. That was really disappointing. So I needed something good out of that pack. There's a Master Scald, which I'm kind of excited about. Kaya's Onslaught would also be quite good for me. I would like some combat tricks. I think I kind of would actually prefer Mammoth Growth almost over Kaya's Onslaught. The Rootless U, I'm not in a position to take advantage of right now. I'm just going to take Master Scald. An Iron Verdict, a Giant Ox. This is the Mammoth Growth that I'm sure that most people would not be excited about Mammoth Growth, but I think it's what this deck needs. I think this. I'm gonna cut some of these 3-drops. I guess I'll wait to see how the rest of my deck fills out. I should probably have Code Spell Cleric in my deck. I should probably play 16 lands. Curve is fairly low. Maybe I should play 17. We're not playing with the hand smoothing. It's best of 3. Do I want a Gold Vein pick or a Batter Shield Warrior? I don't really want more of these 3-mana boast guys. Kind of got my fill. Snakeskin Veil would also be good in this deck, sadly. I'm going to take the pick, though. The pick is another thing that's going to push me more towards playing 16 lands. Sometimes you just have to get people with this card. I don't mind playing the Plow Oxidex in this format, but I've gone too deep in a different direction. We're not playing the Plow Ox deck this time. I don't think I want to play Warhorn Blast. Not really want to play King Harold's Revenge, but I might wind up doing it. Ooh, Story Seeker, nice. Maybe just one more Mammoth Growth instead of a Code Spell Cleric. I don't really have enough equipment to be super excited about Code Spell Clerics. I think I'd rather play Battlefield Raptor over Code Spell Cleric. I guess one question is, would I rather play Code Spell Cleric over Horizon Seeker or Notvold Recluse? And the answer is maybe. Divine Gambit. It's the Lityara Glade Warden that I almost first picked. This is not a very good deck for Divine Gambit. Like, usually you want to play Divine Gambit in slower decks. I think I am going to play the Glade Warden. Sideboard Invoke Divine. There's no reason for me to want a snow land. And I would not play the Doomscar Oracle. Sideboard Ox. Hate Draft Skemfar. I don't think this pick matters. I'll just take that. This thing or Snakeskin Veil? I think I want Snakeskin Veil. I'll play that over one of the Mammoth Growths. gonna guess Arena put one too many planes in my deck. Yeah, this deck it's not what I was hoping for. I think it's a pretty good deck for the seat I had, though. Can I take my curve down a little bit? And I haven't drafted this archetype in so long. I never drafted it that much. I wonder if King Harold's Revenge is better than Mammoth Growth. I want to guess that it's not. The other question is, do I want... So I could lower my curve by like cutting Grizzled Outrider for not Vold Recluse. Looking at my curve laid out, that probably doesn't make sense, but you got to remember these Valkyrie Swords are really more expensive cards. Maybe I should cut the Glade Warden for the Code Spell Cleric. Yeah, when I was saying that thing that I didn't have that much stuff for the Code Spell Cleric to wear to make it good, I was forgetting I had these two swords. Like I was just thinking I had the pick. I think I definitely should play the Code Spell Cleric. And I think that the Glade Warden is the worst card. It's just so anemic to play a 4-mana 3/3 and then spend 3 mana and tap it at sorcery speed to get 2 counters. This has to be in play for so long before it feels like a high impact card. Eventually, if you do it, once you do it the 3rd time, you feel like it's great, but it doesn't really start feeling like a real card until you've gotten to activate it twice, I think. I think this is what I'm going to play. The Not Vold Recluse and King Harold's Revenge are the only cards that are still calling to me. 17 creatures. Alright, let's give it a try. Seems okay. It's 1-drop into 2-drop. Into 3-drop. I can probably play this on turn 4. My Despair Sentinel is still alive and at least one of my other creatures. I'm not doing a very good job triggering the Clarion Spirit yet. But maybe that'll happen. Opponent's gone into the tank. What are they going to come out with? It's going to be for Telecard. No, it's Story Seeker. I think I'm definitely just going to trade Story Seeker for Clarion Spirit. That will effectively prevent my opponent from... If I don't trade here, they're going to gain more life. Well, I don't know why they weren't willing to trade there. Doesn't make sense to me, but I'm not in charge of their plays, they are. I was thinking they would attack because they would fear the Clarion Spirit, but maybe they don't fear the Clarion Spirit? I don't know. This is an armada of Pilfering Hawks they've filled the board with. And they don't have a Snowland yet. Hopefully next turn I draw troops, but also I can go Gold Maw Champion plus trigger Clarion Spirit. That'll give me another bird that can maybe jump this hawk for a turn. My deck doesn't really have much in the way of removal to punish people from putting Arachniform on their creatures, which is unfortunate. Okay. It's a big life total swing for them, but they did 2-for-1 themselves. I'm just gonna play a Master Scald and not get anything back. A little sad. A little sad. I left the Sentinel back, obviously, because I want it to be able to block the Hawk. Rootless U. That could be a problem. Okay, that's a very good draw. Where do I want the counter to go? Probably on the Elderleaf Mentor. Next turn I might need to start jump blocking. Oh no, it's an even bigger U. I'm going for a big hawk. I certainly don't want them to double block the Gold Maw Champion. I think that's their most obvious block. Yeah, I don't think that was a very good block by the opponent. I think if you're going to do that, you should double block something. I may have put the counter. I could have instead gone 2 counters on Jespera Sentinel. And then I would have something that could block one of these Hawks. I think my opponent's in trouble, but maybe not. So this leaves player exiles. Dies. Oh, this exiles, this requires you to die, so that's fine. Okay, that's not ideal. I guess they're planning to trade off one of their Hawks here, though. Triple form of the triple Hawks. Okay. This would have been really good if it had been in my hand when they played that Bounding Gold. It's still going to be pretty good because I think their best block is probably double block Master Scald, single block Elderleaf Mentor. I didn't think about attacking with more stuff. I think it would have been bad. So I think if I attack with more, they let the Master Scald through, they single block this, and then they eat 2 things. They take 6. But I guess they don't kill me on the crackback. I'm not sure, why is my opponent's deck like this? Like a blue-green deck splashing for Story Seeker? Does Arachniform do something when it dies? It's every creature type. I guess I want to kill the Morit. It's kind of hard to see it mattering, but maybe it could somehow. Come on, land. So Broken Wing seems really good against their deck. Maybe just over Mammoth Growth. I might not be getting into creature combat all that much if they have a draw where it's just flyers against ground creatures again. This is not a good hand. This is a more acceptable hand. All right, I like it. It's a 2-drop in the color that I drew. Or in the colors that I can cast. What are the odds they weren't going to have a Hawk on turn 2? Given the way their deck is constructed, they weren't actually very... Like, they're very likely to have a Hawk, because you know they got more than 3 in there. Okay. I'm going to let the Augury Raven hit me so they can draw a card if that's what they want to do. Form of the giant bird form, engaged. They only get to draw 1 card though, right? Look at that player's hand. Whoa, I didn't know this card did that. They get to see that I have a Master Scald. A Master Scald is laid bare for all the world to see. Valkyrie Sword to be the top card of my deck. It's pretty important to me that it's my top card. I guess Fall the Imposter would be okay as well. Put a counter on the Starnheim Courser. Broken Wings would also be good. This is the part of this card that generally doesn't really turn out to be that good because you've probably put all of the cards you actually want to draw in your deck. This isn't a free card. This is instead of your next draw step. I don't know if I can I tell if they did it? I don't know that there was a visual indication as to whether they took a card from their sideboard or not. Yuck, they had a removal spell too. So I'm going down to 4 here. This was a really bad draw. I mulled and then I drew 4 spells, 8 land. I did put a spell on the bottom, but I think I've drawn 1 spell since my opening hand. That's not going to win you very many games. I could still win this game, honestly, though, if I draw the sword this turn. I think I can't win now that wasn't the sword. Broken Wings. Yeah, get another turn. They're tapping their mana. What are they doing? Gravenlord, they're just drawing 3 cards. Okay. I didn't die. It's not ideal, though. Now I am dead. Alright. I think Broken Wings is clearly good. I suppose I should have the Notvold Recluse in my deck. That was maybe a mistake. Suppose I could have Iron Verdict or Invoke the Divine. Maybe over Snakeskin Veil. They've played Bound in Gold and a bunch of Arachniforms. I think sadly I'm going to play my tap land turn 1 so I can play a turn 2 Story Seeker. Hopefully I get to pick it on turn 3. If not, I'm just going to play the pick. A naked pick. And I think with 2 swords in my hand, I'm going to save my treasures to potentially get a sword into play. Whoa, they've got... I guess this is just snow mana for them, maybe. This has the potential to be a pretty big blowout. So turn 5 a quick sword. I think I missed my previous land drop. This game seems to be going quite well. Yeah, I think the only foretell card I've seen so far is Augury Raven, which I guess this isn't, because on turn 4 they would have just cast an Augury Raven rather than Arachniform plus nothing. Or I guess Arachniform plus foretell. It's struggle for Skemfar. It struggled for Skemfar. We did our best. It's a little painful. I'm not going to spend the mana to put the sword on the raptor, because if I draw a land, I can just play this sword next turn. If I was getting to attack, I probably would have done it. But I wasn't going to get to attack, and I wouldn't be able to block, so I don't think it really does much. Things were looking really grim for my opponent if they had had nothing. Draw 3 with a scry on top. Maybe they'll get to something. They're really far behind on board, though. So they're going to need something pretty spectacular. Ravenous Lindworm is certainly good. I don't know that it's good enough, though. Got Broken Wings to get a flyer out of the way. They could moor it. Their Lindworm, they would go to 12 and then they would die. So I can just equip the sword. Maybe if they have moor at the Lindworm plus Bound in Gold. No, they still die because I have Broken Wings to Bound in Gold. I think I probably shouldn't even jump with the token if they attack with the Lindworm here. I don't think they're very likely to attack. Alright, we've got the Morid of the Lindworm. Step 1 of that plan. Excuse me. Alright. 1-1 in the books. Alright. Round 2. Ooh, pretty good curve. Opponent is mulliganed. Hopefully we can not draw any more lands for a while. I think I'm not gonna give up a point of damage just to leave myself access to Snakeskin Veil. I'll be representing it really hard if I do that. Also, they can't frostbite my 2-3 there. They didn't have enough snow lands. They only had 2 lands, so they couldn't have enough. I think that worked out pretty well the way I played it. I got the point of damage from the Jespero Sentinel, and they wound up using their Frostbite on the Jespero Sentinel, which I suppose it would have been better for me had they wound up using the removal spell in a way that I got to Snakeskin Veil it, but they used it on something that was kind of irrelevant. I think I am gonna play the Gold Maw Champion this turn instead of the Master Scald, just because I have Snakeskin Veil. It's going to be really hard for them to get out of this. I suppose if they play like a Ravenous Lindworm this turn, that'd be bad for me. It'd be really bad for me if they just wound up playing Coma. But that's always bad. You don't target creatures with that. I think I'm probably not going to wind up sideboarding. This is kind of the deck I was envisioning playing against decks like this when I constructed my deck. Oh. It's like one of the few cards I think that could have saved them. But they're still dead. I don't think I need Broken Wings or Invoke the Divine. All I saw was Waking the Trolls, and boarding in removal for sagas is always dubious. It's also, the way my deck functions, I think I'm going to frequently end the game before it becomes relevant. Do I want the Notvold Recluse over Horizon Seeker just because it hits harder? I may have just misbuilt my deck by not having the Recluse over the Horizon Seeker to begin with. Although, I don't know, the bow stability on this card is pretty good. I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is, especially because I'm trying to get to 7 mana for the swords. One thing I might want to do if we go to game 3 is cut a Snakeskin Veil for a Mammoth Growth, and the reason for that would be if I just don't see many things to Snakeskin Veil. Like against a green deck, I might need Mammoth Growth to, make my creatures big enough to punch through. I think we're going to go for a big Battlefield Raptor. They still are only going to have Frostbite for 2. They don't. Their deck doesn't seem to have that many snow lands in it. What have we seen this for? They went double bottom. By getting the pick going this turn, I'm going to have access to Snakeskin Veil, which is nice. Also, next turn, I can go Starnheim Courser plus Fall of the Imposter, potentially. An Avalanche Caller with no snow lands. That's not that frightening. They got priority there, which is a pretty strong indication that they have Frostbite. I would have played the Courser if I hadn't gotten that timing tell. After saying I was going to board out Snakeskin Veil, I think it might wind up winning me this game. Toski is tempting, but I think it's smarter just to go plus Fall of the Imposter. Put the counter on the Courser. There's no way I'm ever going to block with the Courser, is there? I guess I might block the Avalanche Caller if it attacked, which I really don't think is going to happen. But I'm also not planning on jumping with the Code Spell Cleric this turn. A little bit heavy on the lands. I'm not going to mulligan this. It's not a bad hand by any stretch. It's the kind of hand where if I draw, 3 lands and only 1 spell on my top 4 cards, I could be in trouble. Opponent's taking their time, meaning they're either not at their computer or they may be considering mulliganing. They mulliganed. I'm beginning to think they are at their computer. Spare Sentinel Mirror. Alright, that's a really good start to my plan of not drawing too many lands. Opponent's hand does not appear to be coming together. I did have the dreaded draw 1 spell, 3 lands in the top 4 thing happen to me, but I think my opponent's luck is even worse than mine. And at least the spell I drew was a 4-drop, so it's relatively high impact. No, they're getting priority. Maybe they have a 1-mana removal spell? Binding of the Old Gods, maybe? And they're considering playing it on the Goldmaw champion? Wither Crown. Okay. I'll keep my guy. Wither Crown remains an incredibly bad card. I think I'm going to hold this guy for next turn. Playing it as a 1/1 really is Not very effective. Whoa. What are you doing, opponent? The named elf. They have an Elderleaf Mentor. Am I in trouble? Maybe. Maybe a little bit. Guess that's pretty good too. Yeah, alright. That is enough that I am potentially in trouble because I drew so many lands. Ugh. This wasn't a very good hand. Maybe I could win if I draw the Valkyrie's Sword in the next 2 turns. It's another Mistwalker for me to not enjoy. Might be at the point now where I should give up on the gold Law Champion. Come on, Master Scald or Valkyrie's Sword off the top. Oh, they're sacking. A Mistwalker? They're giving me the choice of killing a Mistwalker. Okay. Not sure why that was a good idea for them. I do have a Clarion Spirit in my deck, so I think I'm just going to hold on to this. It also isn't really clear where I put the counter. The only card I have that matters is the Jaspera Sentinel. This is too many lands. What, 10 lands? 8 spells? It's not ideal. I guess I could pick the Code Spell Cleric and put a counter on it and just force them to block. Maybe I should have done that. Not sure why my opponent values their Coma's Faithfuls over the Mistwalkers. Maybe their thought process is that the Mistwalkers require you to dump mana into them, and they don't have enough mana to activate all 4 of them. There might be some merit to that thought process. Works out a little bit bad for me if I draw my other Fall of the Imposter or Master Scald, but I do prevent a lot of damage this way. And if I draw the Valkyrie's Sword, makes sense. I don't think I can win at this point. I've drawn too many lands. I didn't mill any of the cards I'm hoping to draw, which I think I need to draw Valkyrie's Sword now, this turn. To have any hope at all. Mass Vandal's going to attack me as well. And I'm going to take 7, 9. I think I just can't win. Because even now, even if I draw a Masked Vandal, they can just alpha in the air to win. But if I chump one of the Masked Vandals, they can just attack on the ground next turn. How many Mistwalkers did they actually have? It's 1 real one, 2 real ones. And Reflections of Lityara and Withered Crown. I'm gonna board in Broken Wings. Much, much better hand. That might be a bad place to put the counter if they have Kadama's Faithful. Really hope they don't have a sweeper in their deck. Crippling Fear would be the end of me. Might give up on one of these raptors this turn. Or one of the Withered Crown things, which would be the raptor. Maybe not. I might keep it for one more turn so I can cast the Elderleaf Mentor without tapping anything that might be able to attack. We'll have to see what they play. I wonder if they're considering not playing a creature. It's because of the fall of the imposter. So I'm going to chump with the Battlefield Raptor if they attack. If they don't attack, I'm not going to chump. I'm going to give up on that. I think the Battlefield Raptor and the Courser this turn. Maybe not both. That went pretty well. Do I need to invoke the Divine against all the Wither Crowns? I don't think so. The Broken Wings is good because it also hits the Mistwalkers. I think this is a good configuration. I'm going to keep this hand. If I don't draw any creatures, it's obviously not going to go very well. And 2 creatures to start is pretty nice. Is this an Augury Raven? It is. Got to start getting the creatures into play to start wearing the Wither Crowns. Wither Crown number 1. I'm going to sack the Wither Crowns immediately. This game. Oh no. That's pretty bad. Incoming Wither Crown. The War Master's really scary. Alright. That's a pretty good at least. I need to force them to block with some of these elves so that the War Master doesn't become lethal. a good thing we didn't make that black last turn. If they had done that last turn, it would be in way better shape. Ugh. Oh, I can't beat that. I don't think. This is a foretold card at least. So it's not a land, so they can't activate the War Master. That's good for me at least. Can I possibly live through this combat? Doesn't seem very likely. Who would have thought I would be done in Bycoma's Faithful? It doesn't matter. I don't think that I think it was better for them to just activate, like attack and activate the War Master last turn. They didn't do that. But it doesn't matter. Round 4, battling to see if I get to do a second draft. Is this hand playable? I think I should mulligan this hand. This hand seems better. It's still pretty bad. My plan is to double block if they put the pick on an attack. I don't think they're going to attack without the pick. If they did that, I would just block with the Glade Walker. Alright, that's not good for me. Valkmir is so annoying to play against. It's also extremely good. Gonna continue my hoping that they just don't block plan. In the past few turns, if they had blocked, I would have used Mammoth Growth. Am I potentially coming all the way back here? I don't think so. Not going to be able to afford to play the Mentor this turn, so I'm going to leave the Glade Walker back to jump. I'm going to be really surprised if I win this game, but it doesn't feel impossible to win from this spot. I think I'm still disadvantaged, but their past few turns have been not very impressive. And the Snakeskin Veil, like, might do something. They have Iron Verdict. I don't think I'm going to win. Because I am going to play the Snakeskin Veil. Alright, that's not good for me. I don't think I could have played differently to leave up Snakeskin Veil. Can I win in some way? this thing had flash, I guess I still wouldn't have won. Oh, I died to them tapping. Good spell cleric. That was so much closer than I thought it was going to be. I definitely need to board in Broken Wings and probably Iron Verdict. Ooh, they had Warhorn Blast the whole time. So far I've drawn 0 cards with Toski, which is pretty disappointing for my deck. Could this be the game where I finally get to draw some cards with Toski? Seems quite possible, assuming I don't just brick on lands for the whole game. Maybe I played the wrong card on turn 3. I figured I want to be the aggressor in this matchup. Come on, land. Land off the top. Land. Excellent. Get out of the Doomstar Oracle. Get on the board, Toski. Yeah. Alright, we get to see what their Foretell cards were, which I knew about Iron Verdict and Warhorn Blast. They have Skull Raid, and I guess I knew about one Doomscar Oracle, and now I know they have 2. So I definitely want to keep Skull Raid, Warhorn Blast, Iron Verdict all in mind. I don't think I need to sideboard anymore. I did see that land, which makes a flyer. So I definitely want Broken Wings. The Invoke the Divine is more marginal, especially on the draw. But Valkymera is so hard to beat. I think I want 2 cards to get rid of it. Alright, this is a good hand. Getting better even. Better still. I think I'm going to play the Story Seeker. So then I'm going to play the Gold Maw Champion next turn. Hopefully they don't have a pick this turn. It's frustrating. Okay. I think I need to just accept that they're going to get to ramp up the pick. And I'll just try to play my hand out. Maybe I'll get a spot where I can invoke the Divine the pick to get some value at some point. This would not be a good turn to be Skull Raided. I think it's possible they're just, yeah, wow. Their hand must not have very good spells in it. It's the only good news from the fact that they just did that. This is not how I wanted to go out. This would be a good turn to be skull rated. Please have just skull raid me. Skull raid me. If they do skull raid me, I'm gonna discard the sword and the champion. Oh no. That's a rough one for me. I think I need Broken Wings to be the top card of my deck. Still need Broken Wings to be the top card of my deck. Man, if they hadn't had that pick on turn 3, this game would have been so different. Just gonna pretend that this card is Broken Wings. If I'd cast this, I would have been dead on board to them just moving the helm. Come on, Broken Wings. Alright, that's the end for me. I feel like I fought my hardest and didn't really quite get lucky enough. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.